Police sa barangay, BEEPS. BEEPS or Barangay Established Enforcement and Policing Setup is an innovative implementation of the revitalized Police sa Barangay, a flagship program of the Philippine National Police to bring enforcement and policing closer to the people. If we change the way we look at policing systems and practices, these policing systems and practices will surely change. Of course, for the best. Making beeps a buzzword. Why choose the word beeps? By definition, the word is a present tense singular verb which connotes the production of short but high-pitched sound. On the vantage point of this program in the Philippine National Police, it means to produce fast but effective and efficient enforcement and policing mechanism toward strengthening the relationship of the police force and the communities, increasing the trust and confidence of the people to the organization, and eventually reducing criminality and improvement of peace and order. What is BEEPS? It is a community-driven policing and enforcement system where the roles and functions of the PNP through the local police station are brought nearest to where the people are, and that is community. It is a collaborative, coordinative, and cooperative peace and order effort and initiative of both communities through the barangay government and the PNP through the local police station. BEEPS is anchored on the PNP mandate, vision, and mission, and PNP Patrol Plan 2030. It is part of the flagship Police sa Barangay program of the PNP, and the innovative implementation is through community-driven policing and enforcement through the BEEPS program. Its operation starts with educating, organizing, and deploying communities, and eventually optimize stakeholders' participation through the operation of BEEPS, and eventually improve peace and order, increase trust and confidence of the people to the PNP and the host LGU, particularly barangays and municipalities, and communication networks and linkages established to strengthen the relationship and the tie of communities and the police force. Here's the logical framework. The inputs include educate, organize, deploy, enforcement and policing inclusive contract, communication network and linkages, BEEPS periodicals and social media pages, public appearances, public relation, and extension services. That is hosting other offices and government agencies in advancing their program by embedding them to the BEEPS program. Outputs: launching and implementation of BEEPS, formulation and public signing of EPIC or Enforcement and Policing Inclusive Contract, institutionalization of communication network and linkages among barangays, publication and social media exposure of BEEPS programs, projects, and activities, scheduling of regular visitation and exposure of PNP personnel in barangay events and functions, including that of the functions of its partners. By the way, the partners include the barangay, the civil society organizations and non-government organizations operating within the area of responsibility, the academe, and the private sector. Outcomes. BDP, PUROC officials, barangay officials, functionaries, and officers and members of partners like CSOs, NGOs, the academe, and the private sector educated on the frontline services of the PNP. Enforcement and Policing Inclusive Contract or EPIC established and signed. Communications network established. Community relations and public relations enhanced. And with that extension services, partnership and collaboration with other offices established. And the impacts include strengthened relationship of PNP and barangays, that is the communities. Increased trust and confidence of communities to the PNP, and reduce criminality and improve peace and order. Inputs. These are the inputs. It was already enumerated in the previous slide. And EPIC must be emphasized here. Enforcement and Policing Inclusive Contract. The contents of the contract or social contract include commitment of barangay-based BEEPS volunteers and the PNP MPS, including the LGU, municipality and province, and the police provincial office, and the PNP regional office on strengthening the implementation of the frontline services and functions of the PNP in the communities. It is a symbolic public contract signing. Here are the outputs as enumerated in the previous slide. Here are the outcomes as enumerated and the impacts. So the foundation of BEEPS is through its activities and reaching the impact through doing and implementing the outputs and enjoying the outcomes in order to bring enforcement and policing closer to the people. The management and supervision of BEEPS is through collaboration, cooperation, and coordination of barangays and the local police station. The local police station is represented by the chief of police, who delegates its function to the assigned personnel or personnel to be assigned to barangays and communities, and the barangay through the Punong Barangay and the Peace and Order Committee. In conclusion, if we change the way we look at policing systems and practices, that policing systems and practices will surely change for the best. Kudos, BEEPS, or Barangay Established Enforcement and Policing Setup.